Upon hearing the news of his unemployment, his nervous system reacted through several different stages. First, the sound waves were captured by the pinna, the outer part of his ear, and funneled into the external auditory canal. The waves traveled through the tympanic membrane, the eardrum, causing it to vibrate. These vibrations are transmitted through the three tiny bones inside the middle ear, the malleus, the incus, and the stapes, which amplify the sound and send it to the cochlea of the inner ear. Inside the cochlea, the vibrations cause fluid to move, bending tiny hair cells called the cerussula. This mechanical movement has converted into electrical signals, which was transmitted via the auditory nerve to the auditory cortex in the brain, specifically in the temporal lobe for processing. Simultaneously, the emotional significance of the word triggered the amygdala, the brain's center for processing emotions, which immediately triggered the flight or fight senses in his body. The amygdala then sends signals to the hypothalamus, activating the sympathetic nervous system. The hypothalamus signaled the adrenal medulla to release adrenaline, or epinephrine, into his bloodstream. At the same time, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis was engaged, releasing cortisol from his adrenal glands, heightening his stress response. The activity of his autonomic nervous system affects the other parts of his body, such as the enlargement of the pupils in his eyes, an increase in his heart rate, slowed down digestion, and etc. It is also seen in the video that after the news was processed by his nervous system, his immediate action was to plead for a second chance. This is a symptom created by his flight or fight response, and a common response due to the overwhelming stress he is facing. Unemployment left him unable to pay the bills. Now he struggles to sleep, tossing and turning every night, worrying about how he's going to keep a roof over his head. Stress and anxiety are linked to sleep disorders such as insomnia, a condition where the body struggles to fall or stay asleep. Sleep deprivation activates the body's stress response system, increasing the production of stress chemicals like cortisol. Cortisol signals the body to enter a heightened state of alertness, preventing the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows the body to relax and rest. Insomnia deprives us not only of our sleep, but also of many cognitive and physical benefits that sleep provides. Sleep restores and repairs the brain and body, facilitating creativity and problem solving. Without adequate sleep, our brain loses power, making it more difficult to cope with stressful or unexpected situations, which can increase the risk of depression. Depression affects brain plasticity and synaptic functions. The amygdala and prefrontal cortex normally work together to manage emotional responses and recognize emotional cues in others. However, depression can shrink or enlarge certain brain regions, leading to more impulsive reactions. Some people with depression may engage in impulsive behaviors such as binge drinking as a form of self-medication. The old man is now faced with unemployment and stress, which causes him to develop insomnia and sleep disturbance. Since he is now in a desperate situation, he immediately starts to look for a temporary relief that can help him solve his trouble for a while. He managed to find a fix for his trouble, which is alcohol. He finds that alcohol can help him fall asleep better and avoid waking up in the middle of the night because of his sleep disturbances. This is because alcohol is considered a depressant and directly affects the central nervous system. Once alcohol enters the bloodstream, it circulates to the brain when it proceeds to slow down the firing of neurons. When neuronal firings decrease at a normal rate, it can result in relaxation, fatigue, and sleepiness. The intoxicating part of alcohol is the ethanol, whose molecules are so small that they can pass into the gaps between tiny brain cells. There, the ethanol interferes with the neurotransmitters that enable all the brain's activity, hence why he is able to fix his stress-induced insomnia with alcohol and also is a soothing balm for his stress and anxiety during the day. After finding out comfort and persistence in alcohol, his body can't live without it. Over time, the brain adapts to chemical changes, leading to tolerance, where higher amounts of alcohol are needed to achieve the same effects. Additionally, chronic alcohol use disrupts the brain's reward system, which involves dopamine pathways. The disruption alters the brain's natural reward mechanisms, making it harder for the old man to experience pleasure from non-alcoholic activities and increasing the risk of addiction. The old man falls on the staircase and experiences physical trauma on the frontal lobe part of his brain. The frontal lobe's roles are in regulating emotions, social interactions, and goal directed behavior. Damage to areas like the ventromedial orbitofrontal cortex can lead to dramatic changes in personality and decision making. After this injury, the old man's personality changes and he acts more impulsively, lacks empathy for others, has continuous repetition of actions, words, or thoughts, and loss of control over behavior and emotions. The man also experiences loss of memory and impaired language skills.